This is just an awesome story from Idaho, where the owner of a saloon is coming under fire from the local newspaper because the bar is celebrating Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. I think this is brilliant. Let's go to the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line and say hello to Mark Fitzpatrick, the owner of the Old State Saloon. Mark, what an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on the show, and just praise God for this opportunity. Thank you.
And it's important for people to understand it's not just a saloon. You have a restaurant and you have a coffee house there. I mean, it's sort of like the place to go.
Yeah, we do all kinds of things. In fact, this morning we had a biblical citizenship class where people showed up and learned about our founding fathers and, what we need to do as citizens to kind of take our country back to what it needs to be.
Well, I love this, and we'll talk more about the saloon in just a minute, but you guys made an announcement a couple of days ago that June would be known as Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. Why did you decide to have the celebration?
Well, I got to be honest, it was definitely last minute. June was approaching and everything that comes with it, and I thought, hey, why don't we just be the place where we can, do something different, celebrate heterosexuals, and we'll call it Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. And, we've got a big supporting group of people around here that are like-minded, and I felt like they would get behind it, and they certainly have, and now the rest of the country and some of the world has too.
Yeah, so the Idaho Statesman wrote a piece about this, and the writer not a big fan, and made a lot of accusations against you.
Yeah, that's when I started realizing I'm going to have to quickly develop some thick skin. But, I think more importantly are all the people reaching out with positive encouragement and prayer. And I think that we're at this point in history where there's a lot of people in this country that are ready to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough with all this.
No, I agree. And the writer of this piece, his name is Michael Deeds, and he writes for the Idaho Statesman. He said that the saloon is extremist and the last bar on earth I'd ever want to drink a pint. And all of this is because of the awesomeness celebration. This is, first of all, congrats on triggering a journalist. It happens every day on this radio program, so you're clearly in good company, Mark.
Well, thank you. But the reality is I'd love for him to actually come in the bar, even though it's the last place he'd want to go, sit down and have a conversation. And we have all kinds of people who come in our bar of different beliefs and everything. It's a bar where we say, hey, you do not need to check your beliefs in religion or politics at the door like most other bars. Let's sit down and talk and have a real conversation. And at the end, when you look in someone's eyes and you're not firing off nasty things from behind a computer, you look in someone's eyes and have a conversation. Most of the time, people realize, hey, we're more aligned to them we think we are.
No, I think you're right here. And it's also important, folks, to understand this is not some sort of anti-gay, anti-LGBT thing. Right, Mark?
No, we're just choosing to celebrate heterosexuals.
And without the heterosexuals, as you pointed out, without the heterosexuals, there would not be an LGBT community.
That is very true. None of us would be here.
This is true. All right, so let's go through the celebration here. And the guys who dress like hetero guys who dress like guys get a free draft beer. This is on Hetero Male Monday. And this really set off the writer. He said, how exactly does a customer dress like a heterosexual male? Now, I answered this in my column, Mark. I suggested that anybody who shows up wearing leather chaps and a crop top should probably be prepared to pay for their brewskis.
Well, I think I'm not going to give the full answer to that, but I think people will. I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed if people are reasonable. And I will have a judge there who will be taking a look at the situation and giving his recommendation to me. Of course, I'll be there too for the most part. And then we'll see what happens from there.
It's kind of like the a reverse of that TV show Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. This is Straight Eye for the Well, never mind. I don't want to get you in trouble, Mark. So I just think this is great. And again, people talk about intolerance. Well, you are actually tolerant because you want everybody to come to the Old State Saloon.
Absolutely. In fact, we've had a lot of people from the LGBTQ community reach out in support of what we're doing. They understand, they get it, they think we should do it. In fact, several are going to be there. So I'm thankful for that. There's just a lot of wickedness on the other side of it, unfortunately, that's attached to it as well.
I think you're right. And I know you came from Southern California. Is that right? Moved the family to Idaho? Tell me your story.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I was a retired police officer from Newport Beach PD, not to be confused with somebody who has the same name of me, who is a former police officer in California, who was actually charged with sex crimes. That I am not that person. But yes, we moved here to escape the masses of people and the politics and the unfair taxation, especially to business owners and everything else. And I wanted to, launch my business ideas in a place that had a good enough sized city for opportunity and was a red state and didn't have a bunch of humidity and bugs. So once our church announced that they're planting a church here, we decided, hey, let's go out and support that and do that. And we moved.
I just think this is great. Now, I want to talk about the coffee house for just a moment because I'm really intrigued here. So you have something called Open Carry Coffee. What is that all about?
I'm trying to start a new trend around here. So on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to noon, we have Open Carry Coffee for the month of June, and this is unrelated to Heterosexual Awesomeness Month, but for the month of June, anyone who shows up with a handgun on their side that's holstered, that's open carry, they get buy one get one free. So bring a friend and get a free coffee for your friend, and we'll sit down and make new friends and tell stories. And I found there's a lot of retired police officers and current police officers coming in, and military and everything else, and then all the people that want to support open carry and gun rights and everything are showing up too. It's been a great time. Well,
this is terrific. And Mark, we just wish you guys nothing but the best. I suspect you're going to find out there are far more people who support the great mission of the Old State Saloon than the naysayers out there.
Yes, sir. I agree, and I'm thankful for that. I appreciate everybody out there.
OldStateSaloon.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's worth a visit if you're in the area. Maybe you're heading out on vacation. Make sure to stop by because you guys also have a great restaurant too. Is that right, Mark?
Well, yeah. So we serve lunch and dinner, and it's healthy local food without all of the poisons in there and everything. We work hard on that. But we're building out the back, hopefully in the next 8 months, to a full kitchen with a hood and everything else. Nice. But our food for now is a little bit limited, but everybody seems to really love it, and it's very healthy. All right,
good stuff. Well, I love it. Mark Fitzpatrick, owner of the Old State Saloon, great American patriot, and a good Christian man as well. Mark, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Good man right there, folks. And a great family. He's also a big Trump guy. I saw some of the photos on the social media. Mark Fitzpatrick, owner of the Old State Saloon. All right, there you go, folks. A bar celebrating Heterosexual Awesomeness Month, and if you have a holstered sidearm, you get a second cup of coffee free of charge. Open carry coffee. That sounds like my kind of place.